Kurt, the Chief Strategist of ADBM, an agency focused on bringing customized Airtable applications to small, medium-sized businesses and organizations. Welcome to our leadership meeting template. Forged through its use in multiple companies, this agenda makes each leadership meeting highly effective, focused around clarity of purpose and accountability for performance while tackling major issues. The general flow of each meeting is as follows. We select our meeting date. This one is scheduled for Christmas 2023. We have a quick reminder of our annual goals, which we can mark completed as completed. We review our KPI performance year to date. So we have one KPI of new downloads, of annual goal. We have a progress bar, and then it shows our percentage at the end. We then move down to our icebreakers, which are questions just to get everybody in the meeting talking. And then headlines or news, which can be attributed by everybody, like are we really meeting on Christmas, but are not major discussion points. They're just things that we'd like shared to get the meeting rolling. We then move on to the body of the email. We start with reviewing KPIs, what the KPI is, who's responsible for it, whatever the number goal is, what was done, how many were done, and then again a progress bar of our meeting goal and percentage against. We then go down to open to-dos. So these were to-dos that have been assigned to someone. So who's it assigned to? What is it? When is it due? And when it's completed, you would select the meeting that it was completed for. We then move down to completed this meeting. This shows all to-dos that were completed during that meeting. On a to-do, you can open it up. You can look at when it was created, when it was due, when it was marked as completed, who it was assigned to. By checking assign to all members, you would assign this to-do to everybody that's part of the leadership team. You then have description, attachments, and a chat section. Moving down, we review quarterly goals. Very similar. It's a Kanban view that sets it up by person they're assigned to. You can open it up and look, here's my headline, the year, the quarter, who it's assigned to, the status, on track, off track, missed, or completed. Completed is when it's done. On track or off track is during the quarter. At the end of the quarter, you would either do missed or completed. You would not let it roll over. You'd create a new one if it's going over into the next quarter. We can then save attachments, and again, we have this discussion below box. So I could comment to myself, or anyone else in the leadership team, you'd be able to comment and hold your conversations right in here. Now that chat functionality will only work with registered users of Airtable. Moving down to the issue discussion, here's where we look at open issues. We rank them 1 through 3. You could customize it to 1 through 5 if you want to get more detailed on the ranking. The headline, who was raised by, and when it's completed. You can also open these and look at priority, again, all the information just in a bigger area, as well as description and attachments. This box builds as it gets more content. And again, you can have more discussion around it. If an issue's been covered, you'll notice if we do completed, so let's say what's for lunch, we decide what's for lunch, I select the date, you'll note that it leaves the open and goes to covered during this meeting. We then go into our conclusions. We put in who they're reviewing the open to-dos, number 1, just so everyone remembers what they're supposed to do before the next meeting. Then we move on to ranking. You can add a member, you put in who attended, and then put in a ranking 1 through 10. I will say this is a 1 because we had a meeting on Christmas, and it will give me the average rank of the meeting. If you click on email minutes to all attendees, it will send a copy of the meeting record to everybody that attended as long as they're a registered member of Airtable. And this requires the paid Airtable plan. Everything else that I'm showing you does not require the paid plan as long as you have 5 or fewer users. This specific functionality would require it. And then we have a section down here for recording links, transcription links. If you record it using Zoom or Teams or whatever you use, you can save the recording right here or the transcription link. Now, at the top of here, we have a new issue and new to-do button. And what this does, I would recommend opening them during the meeting. So then you have a new issue and new to-do window during the meeting. Whoever's running the meeting can start logging new issues or new to-dos as they pop up. Now let's talk about management of the template. If we go into management, you have a few sections here. We have years. You would select different years. So I can come in here and I'm going to say 2025. And I'm going to say the meeting cadence is monthly. Let's say we decide we're no longer doing weekly cadence meetings. What this does is this looks at your KPIs and it says, okay, you're meeting monthly. So if your KPI is 120, that's 10 per meeting. Or if it's weekly, so it divides it by the number of meetings that this is going to set. This will look and show how many meetings you've had for the year. It will also show you quarterly goals, or how many you have scheduled or completed. Quarterly goals completed. Again, this is that quarterly goal tracking. So we're on track to complete in 2023 100% of our quarterly goals. KPIs met, and this looks at all KPIs and rolls it up. This is just a quick snapshot company-wide of how you're doing. And then annual goals as well. You can open this up, and in here it'll show you what your KPIs are, what your annual goals are, what your quarterly goals are, and you can add them here by clicking add to add KPIs or goals. If we then go by members, we have a member directory, shows meetings attended, their average meeting rank, their meeting KPI performance percentage, and their quarterly goal percentage. Annual goals are company-wide. KPIs and quarterlies are individual tied. So this is sort of an ongoing performance record of are the members achieving their goals. We can then jump in here and look at specific KPIs that are split up by year. Generally, you're going to manage your KPIs, however, through the years section. And again, going into a year and then going into a KPI here brings you to the same window. Final section is the library, and the library looks at, right now, it has issues in here that are solved. So let's say 2 years from now, an issue comes up and you're going to say, didn't we talk about that a few years ago? You're able to come in here and search by the name, pull up an issue, and you can see all the notes and comments that were held on the meeting. Now, as with pretty much everything in Airtable, this is highly customizable. This is our template. You can run it standalone. You can tie it into an existing Airtable workspace. If you tie into an existing workspace, you can easily convert the members data section over into the tied into your main company members section or user base. Jumping into data real briefly, obviously I will clear out all this for the template, but you'll see you have data views, different sections of each that drive the various interfaces. Most of our time is spent developing custom applications. So please let us know if there's anything on this you'd like to customize or anything else that you'd like to build. Thank you.